Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea on an extraordinary Thursday. David Gura emailed me, 10-ish last night. It was after the Detroit Tigers had won. I remember that clearly. But Gura emailed me and he said, the news flow is just extraordinary. And then when we were in the surveillance beauty rest, it got more extraordinary. And we greeted Thursday, not even know where to begin at 7 a.m. Action out of China, the Swiss National Bank, cutting interest rates to defend their currency from too much appreciation. News out of Germany as well. And just all that was going on, and it all centers back to the U.S. economy with GDP statistics today, with PCE tomorrow, and we'll have that coverage for you. We were fortunate to have Drew Matus with us with MetLife, with decades of experience here, somewhat cautious on the certitude of a soft landing, cautious on the path to lower inflation. And I did what I would have done with Maury Harris and Drew Matus years ago at UBS. What's the single chart that matters? Here's Drew Matus on the nexus of job openings with the unemployment rate.
What I consider to be the most interesting chart right now is the linkage between the job openings unemployment ratio and where wages go 6 months from that time. And when I look at that, we're actually hitting a part of that curve, right? If you draw it and put all the little dots and then you draw your little curve there, we're on the part of the curve that's the steepest. And so a small change in that job openings unemployment ratio, which is what we're seeing because unemployment's gone higher and job openings have come down, means a pretty rapid deceleration in the rate of wage growth. And that should be good news for the Fed if they're worried about inflation. It does point to inflation going lower over time. That's why I'm not really worried about inflation in 6 months. But that doesn't mean inflation tomorrow couldn't be bad news for everybody.
Drew Matus at MetLife. The story on the mayor of New York, and of course this is a movable story. By the time you hear single best idea, this story could be changed in many different ways. But the mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams, indicted last night in an unsealing of the indictment expected on this Thursday as well. We are so advantaged to have great Bloomberg News coverage. Patricia Hurtado, I would shout out to particularly on this. Read Bloomberg News for detailed coverage of this tension of a number of investigations. We are also advantaged that Myles Miller is with us. He has served the Fire Department of New York in communications. He has done so much within local coverage with NBC. Myles Miller, our managing editor at Bloomberg Television, his perspective on Mayor Adams' future.
Well, they've got to figure out who is their commander, right? Mayor Adams came in with a mandate that he was a general and he was leading his troops. And so they're wondering, what does this mean about our commissioner? What does this mean about promotions? What does this mean for us? So city operations will continue, and there is obviously a lot of secession if he is to step down. But for the people, the day-to-day people who work in city government, their worries are, what does this mean for me? And will I continue to work in the ways that, like cops, can I continue to drive down crime? Will we still have the support of whomever is in office, or will we still have the support of the mayor if he's facing these charges?
Myles Miller on the coverage of the indictment of Mayor Adams of New York City. An exceptionally busy Thursday, Friday, no let up as well, with important inflation statistics. We're out. You can watch us, rather. I'll get the words out. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. That builds each and every day here to the end of the year on Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and of course it's Sirius XM as well in your commute across America. On YouTube Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts. Single best idea.